Hello and thank you for joining us on Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Naja Atutijani. Remember that this broadcast is being streamed live on our website and you can always follow us across social media. Let's begin with appointments. President Bola Tinubu has appointed a new chairman, secretary and other commissioners of the Federal Civil Service Commission. Zenret Dingun has the details.
Hulayat Omidiron, a former House of Representatives member, is the new executive chairman of the Federal Character Commission, succeeding Dr. Muyiba Nkaka, whose tenure was dogged by controversy. Mohammed Musa is the commission's secretary, while retaining Kayode Oladele from Ogun State as commissioner. Oladele, a former House of Representatives member, was appointed by President Tinubu in 2024 as the commission's acting chairman. The president also renewed the appointments of Lawal Yauroni, Abubakar Atiku Bunu, and Eludayo Eluyemi, who represent Jigawa, Kebbi, and Osun states for a second term. The president also reappointed Abdul Wasiu Kayode Bawala, the commissioner from Lagos State. The newly appointed commissioners are Obinna Oriaku, Abia State, Bema Olvadi, Madai, Adamawa State, Ogbon Awan, Dora Egbon, Akwa Ibom State, Nnoli Nkechi, Gloria, Anambra State, Babangida Adamugwana, Bauchi State, Tonye Okio, Bayelsa State, Aligba Eugene, Benue State, Modu Mustafa, Borno State, Stella Ode Ekpo, Cross River State, Edirin Lovet Idisi, Delta State, Nwakpo Vincent Unduka, Ebonyi State, Victor Sabo Edoro, Edo State, Shola Fokanle, Ekiti State, Peter Eze, Enugu State, Ibrahim Baba Meriga, Gombe State, Jerry Alagboso, Imo State, Ruth Jume Angu, Kaduna State, Muhammad Awal Naya, Kano State, Anas Isa, Katsina State, Bello Idris Eneyi, Kogi State, Ibrahim Abdullahi, Kwara, Isa Jibrin, Niger State, Ajimudu Bola, Ondo State, Ayodeji Abbas, Aleshinloye, Oyo State, Pam Botman, Plateau State, Aaron Chukwuemeka, River State, Aminu Tambar, Sokoto, Boboi Bala Kaigama, Taraba State, Jibrin Megari, Yobe State, Sani Garba, Zamfara State, and Salomon Ayuba Dagami, FCT.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, says the federal government is making steady progress in all spheres of the renewed Hope agenda, mentioning economy and security specifically as evidence of the remarkable feat. This came shortly after a closed-door session with ministers of finance, budget and economic planning, as well as the presidential media team at Imo Lodge in Abuja.
Want to lay solid foundation, you have to endure some pain, and this is what we have gone through. But I can tell you that Nigeria's economy is now on a solid footing, and it is going towards the destination that Mr. President has promised. Food sufficiency, we are going there. Insecurity that has bedeviled this country for a long period of time is being tackled by Mr. President, being tackled by all the governors. The kind of deficit that the governors and the central government is having in terms of resources is also being tackled. You can see that resources are being freed for governors and the central government to have enough for them to deliver the promises of democracy that they've given to their people. I think it's work in progress, but we're happy with where we are going. We think that Nigeria will be better off for it.
Mohammed Idris says the Tinubu presidency is working closely towards achieving a $1 trillion economy and urges Nigerians to be patient as there is light at the end of the tunnel. Meanwhile, Nigeria and Israel have taken steps to bolster bilateral relations, with the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Bianca Ojukwu, holding a meeting with her Israeli counterpart, Shireen Miriam Haskel-Harpaz, in Abuja. A statement by the media aide Magnus Eze indicates that the outcome yielded concrete agreements across multiple strategic sectors, emphasizing the need for global collaboration in addressing insecurity and counter-terrorism, intelligence sharing, and capacity building. Israel expresses readiness to significantly deepen trade with Nigeria, noting that the current trade volume of $250 million, which projects the potential for growth. They also agree on setting up a joint commission which will actively drive and enhance the bilateral ties in broader areas, including trade, agriculture, health, education, technology, and entertainment and film production. Bianca Ojukwu and Shireen Miriam acknowledged that with the proposed joint commission, a long-term structured approach to realizing the full potential of the Nigeria-Israeli cooperation will address both national priorities and global challenges. The Nigerian government has pledged support to the newly appointed United Nations Global Advocate for Peace, Mariam Bukar Hassan, towards promoting unity and peace across the globe. Vice President Kashim Shettima described the appointment of the Nigerian spoken word artist and peace advocate as well-deserved, as she is the first person to hold the role across the UN's entire peace and security pillar. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
Mariam Bukar Hassan, a Nigerian artist, poet, influencer and peace advocate whose work bridges art, activism and feminism. This visit to the presidential villa by the UN Global Advocate for Peace and her team, Vice President Kashim Shettima noted that Mariam had been consistent in her peace advocacy as depicted in one of her videos that went viral, Violence Has No Religion. Taking a leaf from former U.S. House Speaker Tip O'Neill, who said that all politics is local, Vice President Kashim Shettima pointed out that Mariam's resolve to align with the challenges and aspirations in her home state of Borno is equally inspiring.
God has blessed us with enormous human and material resources, which when we properly harness them, we can really transform lives in this country. Yes, things are tough. But tough times do not last forever, but tough people do. There are some painful decisions taken by the present administration. They were painful. But we are in a process of maturation, of maturity. On behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I want to warmly welcome you and thank you from the bottom of my heart for the great work she is doing for the UN. And most importantly, on behalf of the President, I want to assure you all that the present administration is a pro-youth administration and will do whatever it takes to support your cause.
The Vice President assured the UN Global Advocate for Peace of Nigeria's support throughout her tenure.
Nigeria and the world is our home. And if we do not work, together to bring about peace and harmony, then we would be left with nowhere to go. And I do not think that that is the world that we see. So the impact really I'm trying to make is see how this message of peace can be able to change mindsets. I know that some people will say, but you're just a poet. But poetry is as old as mankind in itself. And poetry in itself might not be able to change the world, but it can change the hearts of people. And when it changes the mindsets of people, then the people can change the world.
For the next 2 years, the team said they will be working with other creative minds around the world who will help share information about how they can build peace. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
And still on peace, the people of the Kina-Okura State constituency in Kogi State will this weekend go into a by-election to fill the vacancy created by a former member of the House of Assembly who died in December last year. Jonathan Omajili gives us an update on INEC's preparation for what is expected to be a peaceful poll.
The Independent National Electoral Commission on the 26th of June announced that the 2025 by-elections will be conducted in 16 federal and state constituencies as well as senatorial districts across 12 states of the Federation. In Kogi State, voters in the Kina-Okura State constituency will be heading to the polls to fill the seat left behind by the former Deputy Speaker, Kogi State House of Assembly, late Enema Paul, who passed away last year. In preparation towards the election, the Kogi State Resident Electoral Commissioner has met with stakeholders, including the Inter-Party Advisory Council and political parties, to ensure a free electoral process.
And also to inform you of our readiness to conduct a transparent, credible, fair, and inclusive by-election and later 2027 general election.
Recent elections in Kogi State have earned praises for being generally peaceful. The by-election presents another opportunity for the state to raise the bar even higher, as INEC and all stakeholders are working together towards a credible and violence-free election. In Lokoja, Jonathan Omajali, NTA News.
Let's now join Jonathan Omajili live, standing by at the INEC headquarters in Lokoja for more updates. For Jonathan, the election is just a few days away. How prepared is INEC for the polls?
Yes, just like I mentioned towards the end of that report, recent elections in Kogi State, from the off-cycle election in November 11, 2023 to the local government election in October 2024 have largely been peaceful. And so there's a level of optimism going into this weekend's election. Kogi State has a new resident electoral commissioner in the person of Dr. Oliver Agundu Tesu. Thankfully, he's here to talk to us about preparation ahead of this weekend's election. Okay, sir, this is going to be like a litmus test for you, because you just came in May this year. Talk to us, how prepared is the commission ahead of this weekend's election?
Yeah, generally the commission is prepared, but you know, it's just a few states of the Federation that are going to hold these by-elections, and Kogi State happens to be one of them. And we here in Kogi State, since I resumed duty early June, we kick-started a program of activities leading in anticipation of this election. We have met with all critical stakeholders who are relevant in the delivery of the core mandate of the commission here in Kogi State. We have met with leaders of political parties, the media, and other critical stakeholders. And on that part, we have enlisted their support. It appears we are on the same page in anticipation of this forthcoming by-election in the Kina 2, which is Okura State constituency. And so far, we have equally met with all the security agencies, and they have assured us of adequate security to police the voting space for this election, particularly in the local government where this election is going to take place. We have visited the place severally to assess the readiness of both the people, and as we speak, campaigns are ongoing, and so far, it appears to be in conformity with the governing rules of campaigns, of engagement. And then so far, on our part, we have deployed all the necessary non-sensitive materials as we speak. We are expecting the arrival of the ballot papers and the result sheets, which are the sensitive materials. We have already reconfigured our beavers, which are ready for deployment, and even the backup are ready. We have trained all the relevant personnel which we are going to deploy for this election. We have started with the SPOs. We have trained the APOs and POs. We finished the training of this category of ad hoc staff on Saturday. By tomorrow and next, we are going to train the returning officer and the collection officers. So on the aspect of the personnel which are going to man the administration of this election here in Kogi State, we are ready. So far on our part as a commission, I want to tell you that we are ready. We have equally enlisted the support of all our staff who are going to be involved in this election, and even the people we have engaged who are going to participate in this election, that we have no patience for those who may want to compromise our efforts. And so far I want to assure the people of Kogi State, particularly those in Okura State constituency, that INEC is ready and we are committed in delivering a credible and fair election.
Thank you. You can hear him say the commission is ready to deliver a credible, free election come this Saturday. Hopefully, it won't be different from the elections we've had in recent times, which, of course, like I mentioned, have been very, very peaceful.
Thank you. Jonathan Omajali, our correspondent in Lokoja there, who had an interview with the resident electoral commissioner, Dr. Oliver Teso, on how prepared Kogi State is for the by-election in Dekina. And now, Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi has officially flagged off the All Progressives Congress campaign for the Garki Babura federal constituency in Babura ahead of the by-election scheduled for Saturday, 16th August 2025. The election is being conducted to fill the vacant seat left following the demise of Honorable Isa Dogonyaru, who previously represented the constituency in the House of Representatives. Muhammad Musa Askira reports.
During the event, Governor Namadi presented the party's flag to Rabiu Mukhtar, the APC candidate for the contest. He urged voters in the constituency to turn out en masse on election day and vote for the APC, assuring them of the candidate's integrity, accountability, and capacity to deliver on promises.
Voting for Rabiu Mukhtar, by God's grace, is the right choice for development, progress, securing job for youth, and ensuring he follows our 12-point agenda as well as renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The campaign flag-off drew APC stalwarts and supporters from across the state, with Babura town filled with party loyalists showcasing their solidarity. Earlier, the governor, accompanied by the party stalwarts, went round political wards in Garki and Babura local government areas to encourage voters to do the needful come Saturday the 16th by-election. Political observers believe the by-election will further reaffirm the ruling party's dominance in Jigawa following the landslide victories in the February 5th, 2024 local government polls. From
Thank you, Mohammed. It's now time to join our Lagos Network Center, where Awal is standing by. Awal.
Thank you, Naja'atu, and welcome to Lagos. The federal government is working towards creating a platform where every Nigerian child, regardless of background, will have the opportunity to acquire meaningful skills that can lift them out of poverty, drive innovation, and contribute to national development. This was re-echoed by the Minister of Education at a one-day sensitization workshop for stakeholders on the national policy on skills development in Lagos. Diana Ajale has details.
Current statistics by Gamma reveal that 70% of Nigerian youths lack access to quality technical education, while industry's report also shows a 40% skills gap in critical sectors like manufacturing, telecommunications, and renewable energy. Changing this narrative from the grassroots is the focus of this meeting.
The future of Nigeria depends on the skills we build today. And we have commenced the construction in February 2025.
We can work together to build a skilled workforce that will drive economic growth and create a more prosperous.
Thanks for staying tuned. The Nigerian Correctional Service says 16 inmates have escaped from the medium security custodial center New Kefi in Nasarawa State this Tuesday. A statement from the Service Public Relations Officer Umar Abubakar explains that the inmates broke security and attacked personnel on duty, injuring 5 officers, with 2 being critical. 7 of the inmates have been recaptured. The Controller General of Corrections, Sylvester Mwakulche, has ordered a full investigation and search in collaboration with other security agencies. The service urges the public to remain vigilant and report any suspicious movement to the nearest security formation. Meanwhile, the third public hearing of the Independent Investigative Panel against the Nigerian Correctional Service has opened in Abuja with allegations of corruption, abuse of power, torture, cruelty, inhuman and degrading treatment against inmates. Victor Azu reports.
3 for the panel probing allegations of misconduct in the Nigerian Correctional Service, a process aimed at accountability and change. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, and panel chairman, Dr. Magdalena Jani, says the mission is to reform the service and rebuild public trust.
Our objective is not to tarnish the reputation of the service, but rather to strengthen it by ensuring that the actions of a few do not undermine the integrity of the whole institution.
Panel Secretary Dr. Ojuagomo notes that beyond the broad investigation under its terms of reference, there are high-profile cases on the table, including the one involving Bobrisky.
Mr. Idris Okuneye, widely known as Bobrisky, and to find out whether he truly served his sentence in the designated custodial center. B, to ascertain the veracity of the claim that an inmate in Kuje Custodial Center was intimidated, threatened, and defrauded by the officer in charge.
Set up by the Minister of Interior after public outcry, the panel is being watched closely, seen by many as a test of the system's will to clean up its own house. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Thank you, Victor. It's now time to join our Sokoto Network Center, where Saidia is standing by. Saidia, over to you.
Hello, Najatu, and welcome to Sokoto. The Kaoje-Majes Amia Road, which serves as a major route for the transportation of goods and agricultural produce from Nigeria to Niger and Benin Republic, has been in deplorable condition for quite a while. But thanks to Kebbi State government, as Governor Nasir Idris approved the reconstruction of the road to facilitate smooth transportation of goods and services. Correspondent Abdul Jalil Muhammad Bawa reports.
It's a vital route for the transportation of goods and services, thereby boosting socio-economic development between Nigeria and these 2 neighboring countries. However, over the years, the road has been in dilapidated condition, therefore requiring intervention of the Kebbi State government.
Honestly, the road is not good at all. But when it is done, it will help, especially with drivers that are flying the road. There is security on the road, so it's commendable for this road to be reconnected. And he has started seeing the effort of government officials on the road.
Governor Nasir Idris, while reiterating his administration's commitment to rehabilitate roads across the state, disclosed that the Kebbi State Ministry of Works has commenced assessment of the route in preparation for awarding its contract.
The road is going to be reconnected. You are all aware of the damages done to the road by last year's rain. So all the bridges have been repaired.
In demonstrating their appreciation, the governor was conferred with a traditional title of Sadaukin Bargun Kaoji by the traditional ruler of the area.
Upon completion of the route, it is also expected to enhance socio-cultural interactions between Nigeria, Niger, and Benin Republics in Kaoji or Bagudu local government area of Kebbi State. Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa, NTA News.
After enduring more than a year in darkness, residents of Durbawa are breathing a sign of relief following their reconnection to the national grid. Abdullahi Umar Ilalu reports that the community commended Sokoto State government for the project during recent visits of the Commissioner for Energy and Petroleum Resources, Sanusi Fulani. The report.
Electricity is a vital infrastructure that drives socio-economic growth and development of any nation. This is the more reason Sokoto State government makes the sector one of its priorities by restoring 8 local government areas in the eastern part of the state to the national grid after almost a decade in darkness. The latest beneficiary of the electrification project is Durbawa, a rural community in Kware local government area.
We are happy because he helped us about our business.
Sokoto State government remains committed to promoting living conditions of people through the provision of basic amenities at the grassroots.
Well, we're here in Durbawa trying to inspect another project for the people of Sokoto State, initiated by His Excellency the Governor and then supervised by the ministry. And I think the job has already been completed. As you can see, the people in Durbawa now are on the grid and they are enjoying their electricity and they are complying with all the rules and regulations. So we want to come and have the on-the-spot assessment based on the directive of His Excellency the Governor.
Durbawa is located a few kilometers away from the state capital city. In Sokoto, Abdullah Omar Ilalu, NTA News.
And those are the news update from Sokoto. Is now back to Najatu in Abuja.
Thank you, Sadia, and welcome back to our Abuja studios. People living close to erosion-prone areas in Calabar and other parts of Cross River State say they live in constant fear of what the erosion might claim. Paul Abel, who spoke with some residents, say they are appealing for prompt intervention by government.
For some areas in Cross River State, they are fortunate to attract a new map intervention in the first phase of the project with the World Bank, but for others, it is a tale of misery with help coming from nowhere as property worth millions of naira have been lost.
The way they do the job and go and land up, they did not complete the job very well. Then this thing started to take the houses from the people's house.
That place was people houses, mansions. We should not carry everything. This place here now, we should not enter. Don't they carry? We don't suffer for water for a year.
More than 60 houses have been demolished because of this place. So this year on is worse.
Government should come to our aid. They should come so that the whole community will not be taken away by this ravine.
The flood causes the expansions of the gutter, you understand? And it has affected a lot of people here. You know, even at night, we can't sleep with full confidence of waking up the next day because things can happen.
With the first phase of new map concluded and Cross River selected as one of the states to participate in the second phase of the EIB new map, with the state government showing commitment to counterpart funding, the national team was in the state recently to assess erosion sites and has this to say.
These gullies are not only
gullies, but some of them are developed into ravines. Not only the issue of gully were we able to observe, like what we observed in the Cross River North was more of urban stormwater management.
Cross River generally, our sources are very, very loose. Any small amount of water triggers erosion or flooding.
The appeal becomes stronger for swift intervention to sites yet to benefit for the safety of lives and the protection of property. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
And now we join Paul Abel live in Ikodefangangpa community, one of the worst hit erosion sites. Now let's talk to Paul. Paul.
Thank you, studio. We are right now at one of the worst hit erosion sites here in Calabar, the Cross River State capital. Here is Ikodefangangpa. And for many years, the devastating effect of this erosion has even developed to a ravine, whereby many houses have been destroyed, especially in rainy seasons such as we are right now. The people living around this vicinity are living with fear because they do not know what will be the next thing, the next house that will collapse into the ravine. In this location, you can see right behind me that the NTA Calabar is not too far away. The mast of NTA Calabar is just right behind me, not too far away from this location. Also, this location is not too far away from the Murtala Muhammad Highway. The plea from these people is swift intervention from government to remedy the situation, to save lives and to save property. That is the situation here in Ikodefangangpa. There are other erosion sites in Cross River State that a new map have intervened in some areas. This one is one of the worst hit, and they are looking forward to something being definite done by the appropriate government agencies. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Our correspondent Paul Abel there, giving a situation report from Ikodefangangpa community hit by erosion. And now let's join Fatima in Makurdi for more updates. Fatima.
And thanks for joining us in Makurdi. Benue State government has deployed additional security personnel to troubled spots in the Kum local government area to quell the situation. The deployment followed the recent operation in the area that led to the rescue of 11 kidnapped victims and arrest of some bandits. Blessing Omeche Ebute reports.
Nkum local government area, which is the pride of Benue State in food production, has recently been hit by armed herders invasion and banditry, which negatively impacted on the overall well-being of the people. It is to address this menace that security operatives have intensified operations, which have resulted in the recent rescue of 11 kidnapped victims by troops of the Operation Well Stroke, led by its force commander, Major General Moses Gara. To consolidate the gains, the Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia granted approval for the deployment of more military personnel to trouble spots in the axis, including Chito, Afia, and Diom.
What the governor is trying to do is that to make sure that he will secure these places so that our people will go back to farms.
Other key players promised to cooperate with the security personnel by sharing information with them to enable them succeed.
We need your cooperation, serious cooperation. And we are ready to cooperate with you in any way. Because of the way you have suffered.
We believe without security, whatever project you have done will be useless. And so, with the presence of security at Afia today, we believe that all our markets that are no longer functioning will come back to life.
The deployment is part of renewed efforts to wipe out criminal elements terrorizing most communities in Nkum and the Sankera axis in general. Blessing Omeche Ebute, NTA News.
To encourage a healthy and safe work environment, the governor of Benue State, Hyacinth Alia, has given the Nigerian Television Authority NTA Network Center Makurdi a pat on the back following the monthly sanitation exercise reintroduced by the zonal director of the center, Asabe Akmodi. Charles Abba reports that the governor was represented by the chief press secretary.
The sanitation exercise, reintroduced by the zonal director and facilitated by Ratau chapter of the center, is to key into the state government's monthly environmental sanitation.
The brilliant initiative of the zonal director has brought good tidings to us.
Feel that other agencies and parastatals should also key into what NTA has done.
Apart from keeping our work environment clean and healthy, it is a way of boosting our mental health state.
The exercise had the presence of the General Manager, Benue State Environmental Sanitation Authority, Ben Sessa, and Director, National Orientation Agency.
Keeping environment clean helps a lot, psychologically, physically, and mentally.
I'm really excited about this bold initiative of the new management of NTA. I think, just like GM said, it has worked also. From anywhere, ours is awareness.
The zonal director, Asabe Akmodi, who lauded the turnout of staff for the exercise, was all hail for the governor's positive impacts on the center.
If you really want to welcome me to Makurdi, I want this place a facelift. So the union takes credit for it, and a healthy workforce is a productive workforce.
Governor Hyacinth Alia, who was represented by his chief press secretary, Teso Kula, appreciated the center for its professionalism in the dissemination of information regarding the activities of the state government and reiterated his continued support to the center.
As the whole state, we have the responsibility to ensure that the corporation or the agency is housed in a better environment.
The sanitation exercise is to be observed continuously to ensure a conducive working environment. Charles Abba, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Makurdi. It's back to Najatu in Abuja after this timeout. Stay tuned.
We're joining Chika in Enugu next. Chika, over to you.
And this is Enugu Network Center. We're beginning. Enugu State Governor Dr. Peter Mba has flagged off the construction of a 5,000 shop capacity international market at Nsukka with the assurance that his administration's development model is targeted towards public interest. Chika Ugu reports that the construction of the international market is expected to be completed by the end of this year.
The Nsukka International Market is a massive project designed to accommodate 5,000 shops. It comes as a strategic response to the displacement of traders at Ogige Market following the sighting of a world-class bus terminal. Governor Mba explained that the state government will continually take into account persons affected by development projects. To this end, he said, traders at the former Ogige Market will be given priority in the international market, which will be fully equipped with facilities.
We cannot be talking about development and only be thinking about a section of our state. The trust you gave to us to serve you is largely to serve every part of this state as our primary constituency.
The council chairman stakeholders in Enugu North Zone said the market and other numerous development projects by the state government will translate to economic growth and empowerment for the people of the zone.
We are committed to your cause. We have been joyful over the world bus terminal that you built for us.
What our people don't know is that you are just starting. I know enormous projects in road infrastructure, in the area of health care, you are already doing that, education. You are touching all areas.
Governor Number also inaugurated the GRA Prisons Ring Road, constructed by the chairman of Nsukka local government area. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
The All Progressives Congress APC in Enugu State has condemned attack on party members in an attempt to forestall a reception rally for defectors into the party in Nsukka local government area. Chimaruke Ugu is our guide.
Despite the attacks, the party leaders rallied members to receive over 2,000 defectors from the People's Democratic Party, Labour Party and the All Progressives Grand Alliance. The party leaders in the state thanked the people for resisting the attacks in the rally of solidarity. They promised that receive more employment, appointments and infrastructure development through the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The capacity the president is showing by infrastructure that the president is bringing to this state, Enugu State, we are making it work for our people. It is on the mandate of the president that we have been able to give a lot of employment to our people.
APC is the party now, bringing back, restoring the dignity of the Nsukka man. Today, we have a federal express road being built by APC.
Stakeholders say the party will remain focused, resilient and committed to ensure that APC remains the leading party in Enugu State.
We are actually soaring high and we assure him that Enugu State is fully APC. All this is a tip of the iceberg.
APC is now the household name in Enugu State. The people of Enugu have all embraced APC.
We don't want to bring crisis in Enugu State. So peace is what we will preach and we will continue to stand in the peace.
Party faithfuls were encouraged to remain committed to the party's ideology and grassroots mobilization. In Enugu, Chimaroke Ugu, NTA News.
And that's the news from here. Now over to Najatu in Abuja for more on the nationwide.
Thank you, Chika. And speaking of more, today, August 12th, the world celebrates the energy, creativity and courage of young people. This year's theme, Local Youth Action for the SDGs and Beyond, highlights the crucial role young people play in driving change. Olainka Ojo reports.
International Youth Day is a day for symbolic reflection, but most importantly, action. According to the United Nations, more than 65% of SDGs targets depend on local level action.
Sustainable development does not begin in boardrooms or policy documents. It begins with bold ideas, local innovation, and the everyday actions of young people.
To listen to the voices of our youth, to understand their challenges, and to partner with them to build a better future.
And youths are not leaders of tomorrow, but leading right now in their communities, because it is where the real change begins, as they understand and see what works and what needs to be changed.
If we do not localize youth actions, if we do not empower the youth, if we do not support the youth, then Vision 2030 will not be achieved in Nigeria.
At first glance, that may sound like a developmental buzz phrase, but behind it is a powerful truth.
Nigerian youth are brilliant, can make nothing to be something. What we're asking for is an enabled environment for us to thrive.
For other speakers, the focus is clear. Give the spotlight to the grassroots and youth-led initiatives that are bringing SDGs to life, block by block and idea by idea. Olainka Ojo, NTA News.
And now to another area where the youths are dominating, sports. And Gift George has an update.
Nigeria's Super Eagles Team B are hoping to bounce back after their loss to defending champions Senegal in their first group match of the ongoing CHAN tournament as they take on their Sudanese counterpart Tuesday evening. The Nigerian-Sudan game is scheduled for the Aman Stadium, Zanzibar, 6 p.m. Nigerian time. It's a must-win game, especially for the Nigerian team, to keep its hope alive in the tournament. The two teams have met only once in the CHAN tournament, with Nigeria winning by 1-0 in the semi-finals in 2018.
They should be good enough to beat Sudan. I expect 3 points today. They just have to keep their guard at the back and defend better, probably, just to see how 3 points in that game.
To scrabble, Team Nigeria to the second edition of the African Youth Scrabble Championship has arrived in Nairobi, Kenya, ahead of the competition. Nigeria goes into the championship as defending champions and will be featuring 7 Scrabble players, 4 boys and 3 girls. About 150 players from 11 countries will compete in the under-15 and under-19 categories from August 14th to 17th, 2025. Nigeria is hoping to be the first team to defend the title.
I can say I'm 99% sure that the number we're taking for the championship will definitely win prizes coming back.
And in handball, the three of the ongoing National Division 1 Handball League in Umuahia, Abia State, produced exciting action, with Edo Dynamo staging a great performance to beat Abia Valiants 32-29 in the women's category. In other matches, Suf Academy proved too strong for Kwara Girls with a 39-19 victory, while Mindscope Academy defeated Air Force Babes 2019 in the close match. In the men's category, Air Force survived the lead scare to beat Vipers of Jos 22-21, while Bayelsa beat Mindscope Academy 15-12. With sports updates, Gift George, NTA News.
Sports Update concludes nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Thanks for joining us. I'm Najaa Atutujani.